Let's get to it. Can I get to it or what? Jeez. Okay. So, before in one of my prior videos, and it got pretty good views on it, I covered a base. It's like a beginner base called the Chad Stop. It was this base right here. It's something for beginners. You can check out the video in the upper right hand corner on one of the cards when it pops up. But this is the beginner base I covered with most of you guys. And this covers building for a beginner in the console version of Rust. So I'm not going to get too much into this. You can watch the video to learn how to build a chat stop base. I'll give you some beginner tips for when you first start Rust. You can see this be built before your eyes on the video. And hopefully you adopt this base build and you add to it. And if you do add to it, comment down below and let me know what you added to it, how it can be better, and if you liked it. So I do have another version of the Chad Stop, and I would like to think the Chad Stop base is more of a modular build. Modular meaning you could plug in different floors on top of it and basically turn it into what you want as you play Rust. And I'm just giving you the template, you guys, or the blueprint for the base. You guys can decide what you do with it. So for this version, it's a two-story base, and as we covered with Chad Stop number 1, it's honeycombed, it's in a diamond formation, and I'm just going to open up all the doors real quick so I can show you exactly what you can do with it. Alright, so let's just go through here, and by all means, if you got any building expertise and any knowledge or any opinions on this, you can let me know in the comments below what you think, like I said before. Alright, so the Chad Stop base. What is it? How do we build it? Well, check out the video first off. This build here is kind of for more advanced players. I would say, you know, for either a really good solo person, duo, triple, or trio rather, and or maybe a Zerg if you guys like operating in small space to be cost effective and, you know, kind of hoard your loot in a smaller area and little compartments and whatnot. So check this out. Now typically this would not be armored unless you're advanced players. So let me just put that out there now. This would typically be stone, so don't go all haywire in the comments like everybody else did before and they're like, oh my god, why is that armored? So this is the inner core of the Chad Stop base. Now in this version here, this is armored, this is all HQ. Typically it wouldn't be maybe halfway through a wipe, I'd make it metal, but in this case, for all intents and purposes, I have just made it armor. So let me verify that or clarify that with you guys. This is armored. It costs a lot, so don't try to upgrade to HQ, high quality metal, until you're ready for it. Now, what you can see here is normally a TC would go here. This has got a floor of 6 triangles. You have 2 shelves for storage. You have 1 triangle for the TC, 1 triangle for 3 furnaces, 1 triangle for the workbench, and that's a workbench level 3. Typically you'd have a 1 or 2 when you get halfway through a wipe, unless you grind out a 3. So if you want to do that and put that in there, that's fine, but I'm just letting you know ahead of time. That's a little advanced, that's end game. So, alright, let's get back to it. So the Chad Stop, and I'm calling this the Chad Stop modular base because this is going to be good for beta, because when you're looking for ways to build, you need to build efficiently in a small area and have a lot of airlocks so people can't just break in and get your loot and run off. Now if you're new to Rust, the TC, which is the tool cupboard, that's what you put down right in this triangle here. Keep all your mats inside of there, like all your cooked metal, all of your wood, all your stones, so you can keep up with your upkeep value of resources that you need to put in there to maintain the base so it doesn't decay. This base comes with 200 and I believe 8 storage slots for loot in the inner core. So you better believe you can store a lot of loot in here. Now, there's garage doors up top. By halfway through a wipe, I would expect you guys to have these already and find one and research it. You can research it in a researching table at the outpost or make one in your base. Um, Here is your smelting area, so you have 3 furnaces in one square, or triangle rather, and each triangle is its own compartment. So when somebody's trying to loot you or raid you, rather, it takes a lot to get through a garage door. It takes like 9 satchels, I think, a couple C4, just to get through to each loot compartment. The good thing about this base being so compact is it's cheap to maintain and you have a lot of storage slots. Now, for the shelves, what you do is before you put the door frames down, you put a half wall up with twig and then put a triangle ceiling on it. And then you knock out the half wall that would essentially be right here. And then you'll have a shelf. After you get the shelf up, you can put the door frame up and then your door, whether you have a garage door or a double sheet metal door, it's up to you. The thing is if you do have double sheet metal doors, they are cheap to make, but they are also easy to explode and just go right through with satchel charges and rockets or other things if you have advanced players raiding you. As you can see, you can put 2 barbecues on each shelf, and then a sneaky box underneath your workbench to keep stuff in. These typically fit on top of the shelves and underneath them. The only problem is that when you start to compartmentalize most of your loot, when you get these barbecues, they tend to hang through the door. So put your important loot in the back, like your components, your major resources that you need to upgrade the base or maintain the base to put in the tool cupboard. So as you can see, I can reach these through the door. So when I close these, kind of sucks. Like, you know, you can reach them through the door. The good thing about them going through the door is if you have one of your friends on the other side, and you got somebody raiding you and your boy's trying to pass you loot, he can put it in this box and then you can grab it. So say somebody just put this in the box from the other side of the door, I can go ahead and grab it and put it in another compartment before they blow through this door. So raiding this base is really costly. As you can see, it's definitely airlocked 6 times or 4 times in the inner core, and then you have a variety of doors ahead of that to blow through before you actually get to the inner core. Now the unique thing about this base is, and what I like the most about it, is the airlock here. What you can do is put 2 shop fronts on either side of your front door. That way you can see if anybody's camping outside. It's really good because if your friends are outside and they don't want to open the main door because somebody's chasing them, they can give you loot through the shop fronts. You can take it and then go and store it in the main base while they're fighting whoever outside. Do note that I did install a Dropbox storage here. So there's 2 ways your buddies can give you loot, either through the shop front or the Dropbox. The Dropbox, you don't have to accept the taking the loot or depositing the loot from the inside. Your buddies can just put it in there, and they have 12 slots to fill up of loot. Once somebody inside takes that loot from the Dropbox or the shop front, there is a loot pocket above the airlock where you could store 4 large boxes in, or in this case you could put maybe like 3 or 4 barbecues in there with little boxes underneath them, and at the end of the day when you go to log off, you could take it from the boxes and go ahead and deposit into the core of the base. Now here's the interesting part, and what I like about this the most is the second floor. This second floor actually serves as storage or for like crop plots for farming, or you can have it for mini copters, depending on how you want to configure it. Now, if you had it for mini copters, you're gonna have to kind of knock out this wall, make a little landing pad, and drive them in. It could actually hold up to 5 helicopters. You could put a box underneath your, I call them elevator shafts in Rust. You could put a box here to store fuel in, so it's on your inner core. Or you could split up the loot that you get from the minicopter, put it in here, drop it off, and fly out again. But it's what your creativity allows you to come up with, I like to say, because now typically you can see these triangles. The inner core I wanted to make armor only to outline where the base actually is. This outside here, which is all stone, is technically honeycomb. Now, here's what you can do. You could either block this border up with twig, okay? Which what this would do is create another barrier for people to come through. So if I made this metal, now I have somebody who's raiding me has got to go through the stone, and then they got to go through the metal, and then lo and behold, it costs more to get in. Now that does constrict your storage and your movement inside the base, but just remember, when you're doing something like this, it's all up to you and what you want to build with it. Now in this case here, what I did is I kind of made this an open storage area to where I can put walls and shelves as I please, and I can configure it the way I want to. But I also made a command center room. So what I like to do here is I put my camera station here, and then I put my batteries and my electronics inside of here. So as you can see here, there's a large battery, there's a medium battery, there's even a small battery here, so you can fit any type of battery in there, or all three, or various big types in there. You can put 2 medium batteries, you can put 2 large batteries, or you can put a crap ton of small batteries, which that's not a very good idea, but you can do it. This does fit in here, so you can put cameras around your base, and it's great. This base is very compact, very useful in the beginning and middle stages of a wipe. Now, the good thing about this is it does have a 3rd floor, but it is an open top. For this specific base build, I did make this a mini copter landing pad, so you have a lot of room to land, and you can just park the chopper on top and then drop the loot off to your friends below. Or what you can do, like I said, put another box, a little box or 2 barbecues and boxes underneath to store the loot that you got from your little trip, and then go right back up and out. Now the good thing about this base is no matter which angle you raid it from, it's hard because it's all honeycombed. The 2nd floor acts like a honeycomb layer above the core, so people can't raid you from top down, and it's typically cheap to maintain when you put all the resources inside the TC. So you're looking at maybe like 3,000 stone, maybe 1,000 metal, and a little bit of wood in the tool cupboard in order to maintain this base. Now, that's not really a lot when you think about it when you have a team. And now for this here, I will show you later in another video. You can, and I do recommend for the landing pad to put a top over it and kind of close it off and make a landing pad out here. Now, I would do it just like this. I'd do a 2x2 for a landing pad, and then I would basically have door frames here for you to pull in your helicopter, right? And then have this all ceilinged off. The reason behind that isn't because you just want the chopper covered. It's because when the chopper is sitting outside with no roof over it, it decays faster. When it has a roof over it, it decays slower. Now I think it decays without a roof over it in a little under 6 hours. if I remember correctly, and I think you get another 2 hours with covering it, so you get about 8 hours time before you have to find another chopper. So you have 8 hours to repair it. You just take frags, repair the chopper when it's in your hangar, and then you can move like that. Um, I would say because people get ladders and they try to raid you and go to the top and steal your chopper, I would definitely cap off this top for the hangar. But I kind of want to share with you guys the next step of the Chad Stop base. Uh, this is definitely modular. You could, kind of plug in pieces as you go. This is just the frame of it. This is what I thought was kind of important for you guys to see from like the top down. The inner core is definitely hard to raid because when you have those things, your loot in compartments with all those double doors or garage doors, it starts to make the raider think like, is it worth blowing in and then going up top and kind of raiding above, or is it, worth punching through right to the core? What I would say as a tip when you want people to guess when the rating is always have your inner core, um, at least the ceiling, the same material as what the rest of your base is, only because when they try to do a top-down raid, they have to guess where to blow in. In this case, since it's armored, uh, they have to guess from 7 armored pieces where to break in. And good luck, because it's going to cost you a lot of money to get in this base. Now, this base is not only cost effective, but it is really hard to raid. Now, like I said before, if you guys want to check out the first version of the Chadstop base so you can get the concept of how to build the frame, you can check it out in the cards above, or you can just go on the main channel and just look for the video. It was posted recently, and now do remember this does apply to PC players, Xbox players, and the PS4 players. This is a good build to start with. It has a lot of good qualities and attributes for beginner players and kind of advanced players for the second version. So I want you to take that into consideration when you're first loading up the beta for console. It will work efficiently, and when people have primitive stuff in the beginning, when you build stone, it's really hard to break into, and they're not going to typically have explosives right away. You're going to get a lot of door campers, and you're going to get a lot of people doing kind of cheap things to try to get in because they don't have the means to break in the space. So check this base out. I hope you guys liked it. I hope you guys use this in the future on console, especially during the beta and full release. If you guys want any more tips or tricks for building, hit me up in the comments below. You guys got some opinions and you want to see other types of builds, just let me know. And I'll see you soon in another build video for the Chat Stop base build. And that's for Xbox and PlayStation 4 and also PC if you like it. Alright guys, I'll see you soon. Make sure you guys hit that sub and like button, and if you want to check out the rest of Boyfriend Squad, they're in the description below. Alright, I'm out.